welcome to Daystar News. I am your host, Ashley Colette. We begin tonight with the latest global headlines. The situation in Ukraine remains tense as Russian forces continue to target civilian areas. Ukrainian President Zelensky has called for a ceasefire, demanding for the withdrawal of Russian troops. Meanwhile, the US and its allies have pledged more military aid to Ukraine. In the Middle East, tensions are rising again as Israel launches airstrike on Gaza in response to the rocket fire from Hamas militants. This latest escalation follows weeks of unrest in the region. The UN have called for an immediate de-escalation of the violence and a return to negotiations. Turning to the Kenyan government, has announced a new wave and measures to combat the rising cost of living. These measures include subsidizing on essentials such as maize and fuel, as well as the review of taxes. In politics, the debate over the proposed constitutional amendment continues to dominate the public. The amendment aims to introduce new positions of Prime Minister. The next few weeks will be crucial as political parties and stakeholders engage in further discussions and rallies. That wraps up our news magazine for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
And I am Dido Halake, bringing you the latest in sports. Let's dive into tonight's story. Now, let's switch gears to the world of sports. The UEFA Champions League is heating up with the knockout stages underway. Real Madrid edged past Liverpool in a thrilling match at Anfield. Karim Benzema scored the decisive goal in the 78th minute. In other Champions League action, Manchester City continued their dominant run with a resounding victory over RB Leipzig. Eric Haaland was once again in inspired form, scoring a brace. Turning to Kenyan football, Gor Mahia will face FC Leopards in the highly anticipated Mashemeji Derby. Meanwhile, Tusker FC will take on KCB in a crucial match. Let's not forget about our incredible athletes representing Kenya on the global stage. Patrick Odongo led Kenya to the 2024 Kenya Olympics, making headlines with his outstanding performance in rugby. In athletics, Faith Kipyegon has been reinstated to silver in the women's 5,000 meter after a successful appeal after her disqualification for alleged obstruction. The Diamond League races have been the perfect warm-up for 15 Kenyan athletes gearing up for the Olympics, showing their readiness and determination. And remember, you can watch all the sports highlights in our website.
I'm Takai Silantoi, your entertainment guide. In the world of entertainment, several anticipated movies are hitting theaters this week. The Batman starring Robert Pattinson has already broken box office records. Another major release is The Lost City, a romantic adventure comedy starring Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. On the music front, Beyonce's latest album, Renaissance, is a genre-bending masterpiece. In the Kenyan music scene, the Gengeton movement continues to gain momentum, with artists like Evic, Sailors, and Bulldogs Gang attracting global attention. Looking ahead to cultural events, the Nairobi International Film Festival and the National Museum of Kenya's new exhibition are set to showcase a diverse selection to film and contemporary Kenyan art. Stay tuned for more updates throughout the week. Jambo everyone, welcome to today's panel discussion, Challenging Cultural and Social Norms in Kenya. I am your host, Ashley Colette, and we have an amazing group of women here who are going to share their perspectives on how them as Kenyan women, they are navigating the challenging the traditional norms that have shaped their lives. Let's dive right in. Cultural norms have been both a guide and a constraint to many of us. But today, we are seeing that women are stepping up and redefining what it means to be a woman in Kenya. Maureen, as a Kikuyu woman, how do you see these cultural expectations and how are you personally challenging them?
Thank you, Ashley. In Kikuyu culture, women have traditionally been seen as caretakers, the backbone of the home, but that role often limited our voices in public spaces. For me, challenging this norm meant pursuing a career in law where I not only advocate for others, but also use my platform to empower women to speak out. It's about balancing respect for our culture with a push for progress.
That's powerful, Maureen, and it's interesting. How do you mention balance? Because Pauline, I know you have been vocal about the pressure Kikuyu women face to conform to societal expectations. How have you managed to stay true to yourself?
Staying true to myself has been a journey actually, Ashley. Growing up, there was a lot of emphasis on marriage and motherhood. While I value those roles, I've also embraced entrepreneurship, which wasn't traditionally encouraged for women in my community. I run a business that supports other women entrepreneurs, helping them to break free from the stereotypes that often hold us back. It's also redefining what success looks for us.
Incredible. Now, Tamia, coming from the Kalenjin community, what challenges have you faced and how are you pushing back against those that limit women?
Thanks, Ashley. In the Kalenjin community, there is a strong emphasis on women being humble and reserved. This often translates into women not pursuing their leadership roles, but have always been believing that humility does not mean silence. I've taken a leadership role in local government and I mentor young ladies to show them that they can be leaders too without losing their cultural identity.
Absolutely. Humility can coexist with strength. Takai, as a Maasai woman, your culture is rich and deeply rooted. What are some of the norms you are seeing shift, especially regarding women roles?
Yes, Ashley, Maasai culture is indeed rich, but traditionally it hasn't given women much agency, especially in decisions about their lives. However, things are changing. I've been involved in campaigns against early marriages, FGM, which are practices still prevalent in some areas. We are seeing more girls staying in school and women stepping into roles that were once reserved for men. It's a slow process, but every step forward counts.
That's so true, Takai. Change may be slow, but it's happening. Now let's discuss how men fit into this narrative. Maureen, how do you think men can support women in challenging these norms?
Men have a crucial role, Ashley. When men stand with us, whether it's in the household or the workplace, they help dismantle the very structures that keep these norms in place. It's about partnership. We're not trying to erase traditions, but evolve them together.
I agree with Maureen. In my business, I have both men and women, and we've seen that men are our allies, and it makes the fight for equality a shared one, and not just a fight for women only.
Absolutely, and I have seen this in leadership as well. When men advocate for women leadership, it challenges the notion that power is gendered. It encourages everyone to see leadership as a shared responsibility.
In the Maasai community, men are the gatekeepers of culture, so their support is vital. When they stand up against harmful practices like FGM, it signals a significant cultural shift.
Such insightful points. It's clear that the journey is challenging and change to these cultural norms is one that involves men and women alike. As we wrap up, what's one message you'd like to leave the viewers with?
Empowerment starts at home. Let's raise our daughters to believe they can be anything they want to be.
Yeah, don't be afraid to break the mold. Your journey is yours. You are the one to define it.
And don't forget, leadership known to gender, step into your power and lead with confidence.
Yeah, respect your roots, but don't be afraid to grow beyond them.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an enriching conversation. Remember, change starts with us, and together we can create a future for every woman in Kenya to thrive. Until next time, I am your host, Ashley Colette. It has been Daystar News. Bye.
Welcome to Daystar News. Today, we share a touching story from a Solutions High School that truly warms the heart. The office of the Dusa Deputy President, together with Prava, organized a special CSR event that made a significant impact. Students received essential items like pads, math sets, and socks, gifts that meant so much to them. The smiles on their faces showed just how much these items mattered. But the day was not just about giving, it was about bringing people together and lifting spirits. The event was filled with lively hype sessions that brought joy and energy, while the heartfelt talks from the SAFE members offered hope and encouragement. This event created an atmosphere of warmth and unity. It reminded everyone the power of kindness and the importance of supporting one another. The students and organizers left with full hearts, knowing they've made a difference in each other's lives. Thank you for joining us on Daystar News. I am Jean-Fils Mugisha, and we look forward to sharing more stories that touch their hearts and inspire the soul. Stay tuned.